Hello, ladies and gentlemen. E3 starts tomorrow, and so I thought it would be good to have a little correlation thing, because everyone is talking about what they're expecting from E3 and what they're expecting other people to talk about, but I think it'll be quite nice to actually collate everything together and bring everything all together. So the first conference that is going to be going around tomorrow, and the only one tomorrow, thankfully. Well, for you Americans, it's tomorrow. For me, it's 3 AM Monday morning. So, yay! Thank you. You fucking bastard. Yeah, so Bethesda is definitely going to be talking about Doom and Fallout 4. Doom, they've already said there's going to be gameplay there. Maybe a demo for the show floor, but I'm not on the show floor, so you. They're definitely going to be talking about Doom, the new Fallout game, Fallout 4. They're probably going to talk about Battlecry, their new free-to-play shooter, which seems actually quite good. It's a free-to-play shooter, which is it's good. They're probably going to be talking about Elder Scrolls Online, because it's moved onto the consoles, and it's in that sort of area where it's worth stoke the fire to keep it going. But while they're stoking the fire, I just think it would be absolutely hilarious if they start dropping a hint about Elder Scrolls 6 or something, like a screenshot or some offhand comment. It'd be bloody hilarious. Just watching everyone just themselves. It would be fantastic. Then there's the stuff about sequels. They might talk about some other stuff or announce some things. Dishonored 2 is one that seems to be doing the rounds. There's a few others. One that I would want would be Rage. I wouldn't mind Rage. I quite liked Rage, although I'm getting Mad Max. So, maybe. And another one that I think that they might end up doing a sequel for is the Evil Within. I'm not really expecting them to do anything with it, but when the Evil Within came out, it was a big branding experience. Lots of branding, lots of, oh, look at this. So I wouldn't really be surprised if they try and piss another one out. The next conference would be the Xbox conference, also known as the Windows Halo experience. That is basically be the two things they're going to be talking about the most. Is going to be Halo stuff again. Last year they made a big show over, look, you have the Halo channel. Didn't know there was that much Halo stuff. Yeah, Halo is a franchise that I am with. Sort of with sounded rather sexy. But they're going to be doing a big thing about Windows 10, because Windows 10 is going cross-platform and going for everything. It's the one operating system to rule them all, apparently. There's already Windows 10 stuff on the PC. You see in the little corner about the clock. There's already said, you can get Windows 10. No, I won't get Windows 10 because you suck. Yes, Windows 10 is going to be coming to mobile phones and Xbox. So the Xbox One is probably going to go, look, you can get Windows 10 and look at all these other features. Look what happened last time when we talked about all the features you could have. We spent an hour talking about TV! There's the exclusive stuff they're definitely going to be talking about, like Forza, Plants vs. Zombies, Garden Warfare 2, and some other timed exclusive stuff like the Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, the new Tomb Raider 1, Rise of the Tomb Raider of Tomb Raiders, which is a timed exclusive. The amount of backpedaling that did last year was hilarious. And then also, probably another exclusive thing they're probably going to be talking about is stuff with Call of Duty, with Black Ops 3. They have always had some sort of deal, some sort of exclusivity DLC bollocks with Call of Duty. That's the way it always has been and always shall be, so expect Call of Duty Black Ops 3 to be there as well. Oh yes, and one other thing, a little note here, is the Oculus. The Oculus seems to have teamed up with Microsoft. Okay, first it was Facebook, now it's Facebook and Microsoft, which is weird. Because Oculus, in their pre-E3 preamble a few days ago, they said, look at this new consumer version that we have, and look at these controllers, and you will also get an Xbox controller when you buy it, which was okay. Xbox is going to spend all of their time talking about Oculus. PlayStation is going to spend a fair amount of time talking about the Morpheus, and the PC Gaming one is probably going to spend most of it talking about the Steam headgear thing with HTC, so yay, VR! Me and VR is like Halo, it's And another thing as well, an unknown exclusive. Everyone seems to think it's Battletoads. Fuck knows why. Everyone seems to think it's Battletoads, but there's going to be some sort of first-party exclusive. First of all, everyone thought it was Rareware, and then everyone started saying it was Battletoads. Fuck knows why, fuck knows how. People just think it's Battletoads. They have a big catalogue to be going through. If it's Rareware, then it probably is going to be Battletoads, because Nintendo owns everything else. And they're not going to do Conkers. It would be great if they did Conkers. No one seems to be thinking that. And the Conkers thing before, at Project Spark last year, they brandished Conkers. So maybe we will get a Conkers one. If it turns out to be Conkers, I fucking called it. No one else takes fucking credit. I fucking called it. Everyone else is saying Battletoads, you bastard. I'm saying is he going to be Conkers or Battletoads? Battletoads because Spencer has been going, oh look, Battletoads, wink wink, winky winky wink. But it could be Conkers because they actually brandished a voiced rendered Conker last year. So Project Spark. So maybe. The next one up is EA. EA with their the part of the EA conference I'm going to be watching every single frame, and then there's another part of it I want to crack off and get a cup of coffee. The EA conference, or at least what I've written down here, it's got stuff like Battlefront, the new Star Wars Battlefront, which I really like and want, the new Need for Speed one, which everyone says is Need for Speed Underground, or Need for Speed Underground 3 or some remake or something, which I really want, and there's Mirror's Edge Catalyst, which I really want. I like the first one, so I want that, so I'm going to be watching intently for those. But then, as per every year, there is going to be NHL, FIFA and Madden. Sports games that I have no interest about. EA has basically got a deal with Madden and FIFA and all that stuff, so I wouldn't be surprised if they go on about it slightly. FIFA in Europe is like one of the biggest, well, it's the biggest selling sports game, and gets to the top, like the number one sellers list when it comes out. Guaranteed. It sells like shit here, which is, I don't like football, so I'm obviously not in the majority in this case. But they're definitely going to be going on about FIFA, probably Madden as well for the Americans, NHL for the Canadians. They're probably going to talk about Mass Effect 4 as well. Not that much has been said about Mass Effect 4. Lots of stuff has been said about Battlefront, Need for Speed and Mirror's Edge. Nothing has been said about Mass Effect 4, or at least they've been quite stum about the whole thing. So if they do talk about it, I'll be very impressed. But they probably will mention it and say, look, BioWare, they're doing something. Because BioWare reliably puts out gold, which is quite rare for a company. But yeah, then comes Ubisoft. I think at some point, we as a community or as consumers have to sort of do an intervention on Ubisoft. At one point they were fantastic and grand and amazing, and now they're kind of schizophrenic. They can put out stuff like Far Cry 3 and Blood Dragon, and then almost in the same year put out stuff like Assassin's Creed Unity, which is a buggy arsey mess. So there is always hope. Anyway, I've only got 4 games written down here for the Ubisoft thing. They're guaranteed to talk about Assassin's Creed Syndicate, coming out in November. So they're guaranteed to talk about it. I just don't want it to be shit. You can talk about it as much as you damn well like Ubisoft, just don't make it Unity. Unity was crap. Unity was bugged up the proverbial taint. There's other games like Rainbow Six, Division, which seems great, but it's been delayed again. So, and probably, just as last year, they're probably going to go on about Just Dance again. Just Dance is one of their bigger franchises that sells like loads. It's like PopCap games for EA or mobile games for everyone else. It's their more generalised sell to everyone else besides the sort of blah, 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 like the rest of us we are. Went Yoda for a brief moment there. Yeah, the hardcore crowd like we are goes, oh look, Assassin's Creed, woo! And then everyone else goes, oh look, Just Dance, I can do some exercise. Next comes PlayStation, the amorphous mass that is PlayStation, or Sony. I don't know. I really don't know why they just say, "Oh, look, it's the PlayStation conference." Don't you mean it's a Sony conference? Please be consistent and just call it the Sony conference, because some people call it the PlayStation conference and the Sony conference. Just pick one! Well, the Sony conference has had a few leaks, like Dark Souls 3. Wouldn't mind. Dark Souls 3 is good. Dark Souls is good. Bloodborne was okay. I like Bloodborne. Well, the little bit I played for it. I'm still determined not to get the new consoles. I'll stick with the PC, thanks. I'm not going to spend a couple £100 for something that doesn't really have a decent catalogue here. Then there's the Nathan Drake collection for the PlayStation 4, which has been leaked as well, which is Uncharted 1, 2, and 3. Probably in prospect of Uncharted 4, because the Nathan Drake collection is going to do a Halo thing, and so you have beta access to the multiplayer. Didn't really know it was a selling point. I just liked it because it was fun. I'm probably going to talk about Morpheus, as per Xbox. We're going to talk about Oculus, blah 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 blah. Probably going to go on about No Man's Sky. Probably a little bit about the indie stuff as well, because indie stuff sells for them. And then, as per every year, The Last Guardian has stuck its little feathered head up and said, "Am I not dead? Maybe, possibly, maybe not, maybe yes." A lot of talk has been going around about the possibility of there being a Last Guardian announcement. I wouldn't mind. The Last Guardian seems great, and it's in the ilk of Ico and Shadow of the Colossus, which are great. I recently got them. They're great. But there's been constant talk about it being cancelled, and then not cancelled, and then delayed, and then not, and then... If they say anything about The Last Guardian, it's going to be fantastic, and everyone else is going to wet themselves. Oh yes, and one thing I haven't written down, which I really want for there to be an actual talk and stuff about 4 and stuff, is Kingdom Hearts 3. They announced it last year. Wouldn't mind if they said, "Oh look, yes, we are actually doing something," like a progress report or something like that. Wouldn't mind. It's probably not going to come out till next year, but still, wouldn't mind. I like the franchise. Wouldn't mind getting a little update. Then there is Nintendo, the reliable little lapdog. My power of clairvoyance call. One thing that I'm going to call is that they're going to spend a lot of time talking about the DS, and they're not going to talk about the Wii at all. They're going to try and that as much as possible. I think probably the only time they're going to talk about the Wii U as a console is probably going to be the Star Fox Wii U. Even then, it's probably going to be a update thing, like what I wanted with Kingdom Hearts 3, because stuff like Zelda for the Wii U has been delayed. Wouldn't be surprised if Star Fox Wii U has been slid back, or they might just suddenly pull out and say, "Oh, by the way, Star Fox is taking its place." That would be fucking amazing. Doubtful, highly doubtful. But yes, my power of clairvoyance is thinking they're going to spend a lot of time talking about the DS, because the DS has had a lot of good stuff recently, like the Monster Hunter, Smash Brothers for the DS. The new Pokemon stuff reliably turns out quite alright. So, yeah, I can see them talking about the DS, and the DS has a very big hold of its consumer market, unlike the Wii U. The Wii U is still sort of still trying to float, when the DS is still happily bobbing along, surfing in a powerboat. Because otherwise, the game probably going to talk about is Sonic Boom, Fire and Ice. Not sure if anyone asked for that. Not many people asked for Sonic Boom. There's going to be an update to the roster for Smash Brothers, like DLC or downloads and stuff like that. Blah 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 blah. So some talk about Smash Brothers and Star Fox Wii U. There might be talk about Zelda, but like I said, it's been delayed. So maybe they might as well announce a new Metroid. Might as well announce a new Castlevania. It's a lot of stuff where they might as well, simply because otherwise they're just going to go on about Mario again and say, "Look, we have a Mario thing." Fuck no. Oh yeah, they're probably going to go on about the amiibos. The crap that is the amiibos. That the vast majority of people aren't taking out of their packets. Apparently. Fuck knows if that's true. But apparently loads of people are just not taking them out of the packet. They treat them like models. It's a fucking game thing. That's why they're expensive. There's electronics in those little plastic toys. Then there is Square Enix. Square Enix has decided to have its own freaking conference at a reasonable time. Here in the UK, it starts at 6 PM. It's not bad for me. There's pretty much only one game I am looking forward to in there, and that is Deus Ex Mankind Divided. That's the only game I'm looking forward to. That's the only one I want to hear lots of stuff about, because I am a massive Deus Ex fan. I've got all of them, even Invisible. Oh yeah, so they've got the Deus Ex Mankind Divided, which I really want. It seems great. I adored Deus Ex Human Revolution. That was great. Then there's going to be other stuff like Rise of the Tomb Raider. Not sure how much they can say about it, because Xbox is going to be throwing money at them saying, we get to say everything, we're first, because we got the exclusive crap. We got the deal. So, depending on how much they can actually say about it, is another matter. Then there's going to be stuff like Just Cause 3. No one else seems to be mentioning it, but there's probably going to be some talk about the next Final Fantasy, because it is by this point almost guaranteed that there will be another Final fucking Fantasy, because it's never bloody final. So that's probably the 4 big games that's going to be going there. It's going to be Deus Ex Mankind Divided, just give me one now. Rise of the Tomb Raider, which is going to be fighting over Xbox for it. Just Cause 3, which should be great. Just Cause 1 and Just Cause 2 were good, so Just Cause 3 should be good just by association. Just don't fuck it up. And another Final Fantasy whatever. What was it, like 15, 16 now? Everyone takes the piss about, oh look, this movie is like blah 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 5. This is Final Fantasy 16. And even then they're doing the Capcom numbering system where every now and then they don't talk about one. Like Final Fantasy X2 and Final Fantasy Lightning Returns. So the actual numbering system would be like Final Fantasy 20. Then the last conference is going to be PC Gamer. Nothing has been said about what's actually going to be there, games-wise anyway. The companies that are going to be there are Blizzard, CCP, Creative Assembly, Paradox, probably Steam. Wouldn't fucking be surprised. So, yeah. Because PC Gamer is a media outlet rather than a publisher or a developer, they have basically free range to talk about whatever they damn well like. They could spend like half an hour talking about chipsets. they honestly could. So, the PC Gamer one, I'm sort of left kind of bewildered. And partly because all the other big franchises are owned by one of the other companies that has an actual conference themselves. So it's like one of the big PC franchises, Command & Conquer series, which is owned by EA. And so, But yeah, as it's Blizzard is probably going to come off and show up its free-to-play shooter. Its name escapes me. CCP is probably going to come along with more EVE Online stuff. Paradox is probably going to come along with their... I keep thinking of Reign of Kings. It's not that. The companies they have involved... Oh yeah, there's another one as well, Bohemia Interactive. The guys that are doing DayZ and the Armour series are named ones as well. So expect DayZ there as well, probably. DayZ is slowly falling down the shitter. I just don't like that style of game. PC Gamer 1 is sort of amorphous mass, so they could spend half an hour talking about chipsets, they could spend half an hour talking about DayZ. Knows, fuck knows, it's 2 hours, 2 hours to kill. It's 2 hours to kill and they don't really have that much to say, in my view anyway. Actually, Blizzard and Steam could come out and fill the entire time themselves. Not necessarily a PC gamer thing then, is it? Yeah, my prediction for the PC gamer one is that Steam is going to come out and say, oh look, Steam boxes! And then just do jazz hands for 20 minutes. And just do that. So that were my predictions. Some of them may turn out to be true, and some of them may turn out to be, well, not necessarily predictions there. Stuff that the other media people have been talking about. E3 most of the time can turn into a giant circle jerk, and it's quite annoying when it does, because it's not even a circle jerk in respect of the Oscars, because at least with the Oscars it's just an air of self-congratulation. With E3 it's just going, oh look at this, and then doing fuck all. Part of the reason why I'm quite glad I'm not there. Going there is different. It's yeah, because from my experience, especially with stuff like some of the other conferences like MCM and stuff like that, the bigger games they just have stewards. All the developers, not anything else. The indie people are interesting to talk to because they are actually the developers. The people there from the other big game studios, like especially Ubisoft and EA and them, they're not the actual developers. Part of the reason why, when in MCM London last May, a couple of weeks ago, the Rocksteady people actually showed up. They actually showed up, like 30 of them, which was bewildered the shit out of me. So they actually showed up, which was okay, considering loads of other people from the Warner Brothers lot didn't. Kenji Ifune actually called in as well. Yeah, but most of the time it's just PR and yeah. I like actually talking to the developers, actually getting to chat to them and having to talk to them about the game and talk to them about how it is, rather than just being given basically a script every single time. Every single person you talk to says, oh, we can't talk about this, we can't talk about that, oh, but we can do this because the game is doing this, the game is doing this. It's like, well, what about this? Can't talk about that. Yeah. It's not necessarily a circle jerk, it's a PR clusterfuck, is the way I consider it. And stuff like this is part of the reason why I like E3, and E3 should be around. It's just the people who run it, or at least the people who micromanage everything, are dicks. Well, not necessarily dicks, they're PR bastards. So they're more bastards than dicks. But yeah, the plan is I am going to give my opinion and say if I was right about some of this stuff in videos that will go up, or at least go up as quickly as possible after the conference is finished. It shouldn't really take that long. I'm not going to live stream or periscope it because there are already half a dozen voices doing exactly the same thing. There is no fucking use in doing the same as well. So if you're going to say, you should live stream your opinion, no, I'm going to be on Twitter. I want to take over the Torch Twitter for a day. So you can get me on Twitter and chat to me on Twitter during E3 and watch me complain. Which is going to be fun. Another thing about the videos as well, just by, I can see the whiteboard from here, there's other things like the Nintendo conference at 5, and then the Square Enix one at 6. Like I said, they're going to be out as soon as possible. I'm going to try and not record videos during conferences. If you see me wearing headphones, that's what I'm doing. If you see me wearing headphones, or these red headphones, then I'm going to be listening to a conference at the same time I'm making a video about the conference that has just been, because there is no fucking time. That's probably more going to be going on the... there seems to be quite a bit of time between. So, yeah, there seems to be a little bit of time between most of them. As long as I don't drag on or have a little pause between the two, I can catch my breath and scream and yell at a camera. So, yeah, enjoy E3. Remember that the PR people are in control, So don't bring your hype balloons, or don't jump on the hype train, because you're almost guaranteed to be disappointed. Be pessimistic at least, not cynical like most. Be pessimistic about some of this stuff, simply because